winter wondering, tax teamwork, and major meetings. All this and more as the Stafford Weekly News starts now. Welcome to the Friday, February 6th edition of the Stafford Weekly News. I'm Randall Williams. Well, we made it through another major winter storm pretty much unscathed. Or did we? We met with Fire Chief Jose Magana to talk about the weather.
Winter Storm Fern brought a unique challenge to Stafford, arriving not just with freezing temperatures, but with a significant rainfall first. Fire Chief Jose Magana explains how the city tackled this dual threat.
I wanted to give an update on Winter Storm Fern. The way we viewed it was from a two-sided perspective, which regarded the heavy rains at the very beginning along with the freezing temperatures. Looking at it in that fashion there, we had to prepare for two different types of instances where one, we had to send out public safety crews to go ahead and check debris and the drainages to keep the water moving in case we did have any type of flooding event from the storm coming through. And then we also had to prepare for icy roadways and the prolonged temperatures that could impact our infrastructure.
Beyond the drainage, the priority shifted to infrastructure and independence. The city activated full staffing across the police, public works, and all three fire stations.
We needed to be proactive and we needed to go ahead and stand up and make sure that our police department was properly staffed, our public works was properly staffed, along with the three fire stations that we have were properly staffed. The reason for it is because we all needed to be able to support each other and operate independently at the same time without having to depend on other cities to come and mutual aid us.
While the storm has passed, the safety protocols remain vital for the rest of the winter season. Chief Magana reminds residents to stick to the 4 Ps.
Some of the things that we can do to prepare for a winter event are to remember the 4 Ps. Plants, people, pets, and pipes. Making sure that we're taking care of our plants, making sure that we're taking care of our pipes, because we need that in order to maintain our own infrastructure within our own residences and city facilities, along with the people. We got to make sure that we're keeping an eye on our elderly, along with our small children.
A proactive response keeps the city running and our neighbors safe. Stay warm, Stafford. For Stafford Weekly News, I'm Mal Morales.
Remember the food pyramid? Well, forget it. We have a new one. No. Another new one. Mal Morales will clear it up for us.
We often talk about food pyramid changes, but the food pyramid you remember is long gone. The reality today is much more complex, and for school districts like Stafford Municipal, the rules of the game just changed dramatically. On January 7, 2026, the federal government released the Dietary Guidelines for Americans 2025 through 2030.
For the first time, the Dietary Guidelines directly address ultra-processed foods and set firm sugar limits in federal procurement, driving a significant reduction in added sugar in school meals. I want to thank President Trump for his leadership and the partners committed to ensuring that federal food dollars support real food and better health. Thank you.
The federal government is resetting its policy with new guidelines that explicitly warn against highly processed foods and demand that we prioritize protein at every single meal. But for a school district, these scientific goals have to be translated into hard regulations. That's where the USDA final rule comes in. Starting July 1st, 2027, the USDA will enforce a weekly limit. Added sugars must make up less than 10% of the total calories for the entire week. Here's the problem. The traditional grab-and-go school breakfast often averages around 17% added sugar. To get that down to 10%, you basically have to eliminate that option. Schools will have to shift towards savory, protein-heavy breakfasts. This aligns with the new 2026 Dietary Guidelines to prioritize protein, but it creates a massive operational challenge. It takes longer to cook eggs than to unwrap a muffin. It costs more money, and it takes kids longer to eat, which is a problem when bell schedules are tight. The USDA released its final rule back in April 2024, but they didn't dump all the regulations on schools at once. They built a timeline. Right now, in the 2025-2026 school year, Stafford MSD is in phase 1, but looking ahead to 2027, we are facing what experts call a fiscal and culinary cliff. At the same exact time, July 2027, Stafford MSD will have to hit new sodium targets. We're talking about a 15% reduction in sodium for lunch and 10% for breakfast. Salt and sugar are what make processed food taste good to children. When you cut the sugar in breakfast and the salt in lunch simultaneously, you risk that the food tastes bland and students will stop eating. There's good news on the financial front for this year. Stafford MSD is operating under the Community Eligibility Provision, or CEP, for the school year. This means all students at Stafford eat for free regardless of income, and this drives up participation, which is great. So, how does Stafford prepare? The comparison is clear. The current year is about compliance, checking boxes on sugar grams. The future about culinary innovation. The food pyramid has evolved into a rigorous scientific blueprint. For Stafford Municipal School District, the next 2 years are the runway. The goal is to land safely in 2027, serving meals that are not just legal under federal law, but delicious enough to fuel the leaders of tomorrow.
It's getting to be the time to think about filling out all those income tax forms and wondering if you did it right. Well, there is help available, and it's closer than you think. It's getting to be that time of year again. Income tax. If only there was some place that could help you for free, like the library, which is where I ran into Robin Ratu.
We are the AARP's foundation branch of AARP, which is the charitable arm of AARP. And there are many programs that we have, and one of them is tax aid. And tax aid has been around for over 50 years with a primary purpose of serving our older community, 50 plus, in preparing their taxes. We've been doing that since we did them on paper, and now it's all electronic. And we provide that service, though, for anybody of any age. We coordinate with the IRS, so 60% of the funding of this program comes from the IRS. Their training is from the IRS. We all are certified with the IRS tests and follow their directions. So there are a few things the IRS doesn't want us to do to prepare. They don't want us to get into depreciation and a lot of things like that. But almost everyone's tax return we can do. We do self-employed. We don't do businesses. We have an 800 number that they can call to find out what site is nearest them, and then there is, if they just simply log on to any computer and say tax aid, free tax service, or there's a straight, I'm not going to do the ... thing, but you'll find it. Google it, and then it will actually locate sites for you, and you, at many sites, can make an appointment online. This site is one of them. All you have to do is find it. At this library, you can call the library, and they'll do it for you. You don't even have to log in. Some sites, we do take walk-ins. Many sites do if we have room available, and today we happen to. So that kind of thing. So we will have our appointments, and then if anyone says, I have my stuff, they need to bring Social Security, valid Social Security documentation, which is either the card or their Social Security statement, for every person that is filing the return. That would be spouses or just single. And then anyone else on the return, and they have to have picture IDs. Everyone, I misspoke, everyone needs a documentation of their Social Security. But the actual taxpayers also need to bring picture IDs. There are a lot of new tax laws that are a bit confusing to begin with, but we're all trained for that. That's all due to the latest tax change laws that came about, and that includes the adjustment for Social Security. We expect to see a lot of people coming in a little confused about that because it is not a refund. It happens to be an adjustment on their income, and Social Security is still taxed the same way it always has been, and some Social Security is taxable. Most of it's not. The other things would be the new laws regarding overtime and tips. So that's all new to us. We were so excited yesterday. Someone came in with overtime, so we all got to learn how to do it. And we can do it because we have all the resources on our computer. We have extensive documentation and forms and instructions that we can go to if we haven't seen it before. And then on the other hand, we have a lot of experience here. So I've been doing this 17 years. David, how long have you been doing it? 5, 4? Oh, I'm so surprised. Celso, how long?
What?
How long have you been doing this?
This is my 6th year.
Okay. We've got another person in my district that's been doing it for 30 years. So once you volunteer, you get hooked. It's a very rewarding volunteer job. It really is. Because we help people. That's all we're here about.
Every January, the mayor delivers a State of the City address, and 2026 was no exception. Every year about this time, we gather as a community for a very important event, the State of the City address.
I would say that's very important to let the people know what we are aiming for and what we are achieving, what are the drawbacks. Those kind of things can be explained through the state of the city, like we see most other cities. My first priority is not to have property tax. Continue with it as long as we can. If we don't have enough money or fund balances, I can understand it. We have very good chunk of money sitting in our different accounts. If we have to shift from one account to the other account, the council has the authority to do that. About $49 million in different accounts are sitting as of right now, sitting here. We are not broke. With the property tax, every household will have to pay at least $3,000 a year. Our homeowners are not paying that money, and that's a very good thing. That's elected officials should concentrate on benefiting the people rather than benefiting themselves. I would say the island city, the island area where cities buildings are, is the capital of city of Stafford. There are thousands of cars drive by every day, both sections, east, south, north, Highway 90. So people are looking at it, and it should be a beautiful place so that we can say, hey, this is the city of Stafford, and we can do it. But many of the places in the island are owned by private people. I don't like eminent domain. Whenever city get a chance to buy a land, when the owner of the land is willing to sell it, I think we should buy that land, consolidate it, and make it a very nice area like a town center in Sugarland. I want to thank all the employees, and whenever we get a chance, we should give them raise, appropriate raise. That doesn't mean that if you don't have any money, they cannot give that. Your savings account, not wasting the money, that will benefit the people and also the employees. Employees are the one doing the work, not the elected officials. They are the policy makers. But who is doing the real work? The employees of the city. So I want to reward them properly. Whenever we get a chance, we should do that. I would say I am very proud of the city because different races and different religions in our city is proportionally balanced. Look at all the races. They are not exactly, but they are proportionally balanced around 25%. That's a great thing, and we should continue that.
For Stafford Weekly News, this is Randall Williams. That's a wrap on our news for this week. Thank you for joining us. For everyone here at Stafford Weekly News, I'm Randall Williams. May all your news be good news.
This program was produced at City Hall of Stafford, Texas, in association with Houston City College.